Hey, Pete. So I've been hearing back from a few of you. I know it's spring break, and some of you are trying to take the time to replenish and do what you need to do. But I also heard that a number of you are trying to catch up and do what you can to make sure that you maintain grades and, do all the best. I wanted to give you an update, and that is that I am probably going to extend I not probably, I am going to extend the date for your essay submission so that you have this week coming back from spring break to work on it. And I'll adjust the date on Google Classroom. I'll also make sure that I post it on the update. But I wanted to quickly just show you an example of how to respond to the prompt. So I just picked the book that I have just finished. So it's this one, After the Shot Drops by Randy Roubaix. I chose that one because I wanted you all to do the actual analysis for your own book, and I didn't want to choose any one of your books, but just to show you how to tackle the prompt. So I'm going to share with you like sort of my process and what that would look like for yours. So the prompt is this, right? I already posted it on Google Classroom. I think at this point, you all know first steps are to read and annotate the prompt so that you know what it's asking you for. So in this case, it has often been said that what we value can be determined only by what we sacrifice. So first things I would do is, oops, all right, come on, there it is. I would highlight value, and I would definitely highlight sacrifice, since those are the key ideas in just even that first sentence. Then it says, consider how this statement applies to a character. I at first actually looked at this and I thought I was going to be able to do the two characters that go back and forth in my book, but I noticed the directions say a character, so I have to focus specifically on one. Then how does this character, sacrifice, surrender, or forfeit something, right? So that's, again, another way of saying sacrifice. I'm just looking for things that the character has sacrificed, but it has to connect to the character's values. So I can't just talk about the sacrifice without talking about how that shows or highlights the kind of person that that character is. So now I'm going to write this essay to illuminate that character's values and provide a deeper understanding of the meaning as a whole. So now this is the part that is the kind of larger connection that I'm trying to do. I usually just start with my thesis, right? So in this case, like I said, I'm using Randy Roubaix, so I'm just going to use a fat sentence in the novel After Drops by Randy Roubaix, the character. And I'm going to use Bunny Thompson because that's the name of that. I mean, that's his nickname, but that's his name. Thompson sacrifices the comfort and ease of attending his local high school to attend a prestigious private school in order to have a successful basketball career. Okay, and I can look back at all of my misspelled words. Cool. All right, so I did the first part, right, which is the sacrifice. I have to underline or italicize my title. The character Bennington sacrifices the comfort and ease of attending his local high school to attend a prestigious. And then now the part that's missing, though, even in my thesis, is, well, what character value does that show? Right, so I have to emphasize that, and it doesn't have to be in that same sentence. I can choose a second sentence to explain that, this sacrifice highlights Bunny's maybe ability to put myself since pursuing a basketball career will benefit his whole family in the future. So, and like how that's the ability, I don't like his ability to put. So what I usually do, if I'm going to look back at something that I'm not really liking yet, I just like say change, just so it reminds me that right now I'm putting my ideas out there, but eventually I don't like the way that sounds, right? So even if this was my thesis, my intro paragraph, that's fine. I obviously would want to go back and see if I can make this more robust. The next thing I would do is just like start picking out my evidence, and I don't have to write it in paragraphs yet. I just like what I usually do is, in this case, I had already flagged, certain parts of the book that I thought were about sacrifice. The first one comes when he's back at his high school, realizing that he was part of a community but gave that up. So Bunny leaving a community he grew up in, felt embraced by. And so that's my like number one piece of evidence, and I'll build on that one once I'm ready. The second one is, what did I put? Let's see. Oh, it's his experience at the new high school. So Bunny's experience at the new high school, where he feels tokenized. I'll explain that in that paragraph. And then my third one is, his, I think it's near the end. Yes. So it's he actually puts his life on the line for his friend. So Bunny puts his life on the line for his best friend. Great. Okay. And then I know that I'm going to have a conclusion, and my conclusion will probably connect with, how do other people sacrifice. And I might connect it to my experience of going off to college. And then graduate school, which took me away from my family. From family, but was in hopes of supporting my family in the end. Okay, so again, these are just notes. I'm going to refine this, but for the purposes of getting started, I've highlighted the main parts of the prompt. I have a working introduction with a fat sentence thesis that answers both of this. What it doesn't do yet, I just noticed, is it doesn't give what the deeper meaning of the text as a whole is. So then that's what I'm going to do right here. Meaning of the work as a whole, to remind me that I need to answer, because that will get me the highest points for answering this prompt. Answer this. Okay, I have what I think is pretty strong evidence of the sacrifices that the character makes. Of course, in each one of those, I have to connect back to how is it that the character, how is it that that shows the character's values, and therefore how is it giving meaning to the work as a whole. My conclusion, it'll be a restatement of my thesis, but then I might try and connect it to my own experience to show how it shows character value. All right, so that's what I have for now. I can post another, if this is helpful, I can post another version of like kind of second step or second layers to adding to this essay. I saw some of you have already started, so if you have questions, just let me know. All right, hope this helps.